Today, in the nerdy news you need to know about, we have more Nintendo Switch 2 murmurings, rumors, and speculation. A new Elden Ring Nightreign trailer is upon us, and Xbox is yet again teasing its handheld future. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, April 1st. No fooling. 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the master of hype, Snowbike Mike.
Good morning, Greg, and good morning, world. How are we feeling today?
We're feeling pretty gosh darn good. It is dawn of the final day. Less than 24 hours remain until I take Tim Geddes 3 stars in Game Showdown. When I cash in stars in the bank, I'm very excited. And on a lesser note, the Nintendo Switch 2 is being revealed.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about the stars, though.
Sure.
Where are you coming at it mentally, right? What kind of questions do you want to hopefully get asked? Are you feeling like it's going to be your game here to win?
Oh, I mean, it's my game to win for sure. You know, Blessing understands what's at stake here, his job. And so if he asks the wrong questions, it makes me look like a fool. You know what I mean? Like, I've looked like a fool long enough.
Yeah.
Andy and I have eaten shit for 2 seasons.
It's hard
due
to watch.
biased questions.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Literally, hey, Tim, who wears a red hat in Mario? Okay, Greg, now you like Freedom Wars, so tell me about a fighting game of... What? No, what? That's not how you do it.
Yeah.
That's not how the show should be. That's not how it should be run.
So you asked for nothing but Patapon and Uncharted questions.
I would like some Vita sprinkled in, maybe some Infamous as well.
Some
but then I'd be
Infamous.
happy. Just like, let's set some wrongs. You know what I mean?
Fix this.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's make this the end of the season competitive, Bless. That's what we want here.
Exactly. Hold on 1 second. There's just so much thing,
He's a busy man.
It's just one of the things I'm trying to prep is a call list here.
A call list. Okay.
Yeah, Tim Geddes in a meeting today through all the game stuff, which sucks, but he has to do it because he's big business, right? But as you all know, it's the Tim Geddes farewell tour, all right? You could go to kindafunny.com/store right now and get your Tim Geddes farewell tour t-shirt. All proceeds go to me. What we are doing is celebrating Tim's final week with these stars. And today, on the precipice of his final time having these stars, my thought was I would call his friends. And I would prep them for how destroyed he's going to be tomorrow. Because they're all expecting him to be all like, oh, it's been a great day. Let's go to Gordo's. You know what I mean? But that's not what it's going to be. It's going to be a man broken in half. I am Bane. He is Batman. Right? And so I want to make sure his entire friend group and circle is ready to go.
So you're getting the group chat ready?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm going to call.
Yeah, call each one.
I've been. It's one of those things where I'm asking people for other people's numbers.
Because
we're not.
Smart.
I'm not going, hey, can I talk to Ben Starr? No, I can talk to Ben Starr. Give me Curran.
Yeah.
Give me Fredo.
Give me the people
these
that are
folks.
closest
Give me these
to him.
exactly. Let me in the circle.
Okay.
But enough about Tim, who isn't on the show and sucks. Snow Bicycle Michael.
Greg Miller.
Tomorrow is the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2. How hyped are you, Master of Hype?
11 out of 10 still. I'm very excited about this. I can't wait, Greg. We're going to talk about it in the news story, but it's looking like 60 minutes of Nintendo Switch Direct. It's going to be a fun time.
We are going to talk about that in our first story. I mean, we might as well get to it because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily each and every weekday on a variety of platforms like youtube.com/kindafunnygames, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, Apple, Spotify, podcast services around the globe. We run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, you, of course, should be part of the show with your live super chats. You can super chat on youtube.com/kindafunnygames to be part of the show. Ask your questions, contribute as we go, just like Onimus Prime did and will be in there. Because we're talking about Switch 2. This is a Switch 2 question. We're going to have that in the top story. Of course, if you have no bucks tossed away, no big deal. Like, subscribe, share wherever you get your podcasts and videos. And of course, remember, we're Kinda Funny, an 11-person small business all about live talk shows, and we couldn't do this without you. If you love what we make, why not pick up a Kinda Funny membership? Each and every month, you'd give us $10, and you'd get more than 80 episodes of content ad-free. You'd also get a daily dose of me in a podcast we call Greg Way. That's 15 to 20 minutes of me yakking your ear off about whatever it is you want to talk about, and when I'm not here, like next week, you get guests, like Snowbike Mike.
I'll be on it. I'm taking over.
Oh, damn, okay.
I got a lot of things to yak about.
Yeah?
Oh, so much to yak about, Greg.
Give me, right now,
Andy's unaccounted for hours. Where are they? What is he doing? I need to get down to the bottom of it. It's the great mystery of 2025.
Sure.
Final Fantasy X. Have you played this game? It's amazing. We got to talk about it. And also, what's up with Snowbike Mike's life? We'll tell you all about that
We do need
more.
to know about what's up with Snow Mike's life. That's 100% correct. Thank you, of course, as always. And remember, we couldn't do this, like I said, without you. So let's get into what housekeeping we have. There's a laundry list of it, all right? Because there's so much going on now. Of course, we're an 11-person small business about live talk shows, which means after this, you're getting the kind of funny GameScast that is Andy's Den of Wolves preview. He's played it. I'm stoked to hear about it.
I'm kind of jealous. I'm excited.
You wanted to go. You like the sweatshirt a lot, too.
I love my sweatshirt from the Den of Wolves team, so thank you for that. And yeah, I wanted to go. I'm excited. This is going to be like a Mike, Nick, and Andy game, I hope.
Yeah.
Bring us together.
After that, fuck Mike, Nick, and Andy games. It's a Greg and Mike game. We're playing
boys.
Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how much Mike's played, so I might just leave him and I'm just grinding the high-level tempered stuff. What's up? What are you doing?
I'm high level. I'm ready to rock and roll.
What level are you, though?
I mean, we'll find out together. Either way.
You knocking on 50's door yet? Where you
They got
at?
numbers? We're going to talk about it.
Jesus Christ. And then, of course, tomorrow is the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. It is at 6 a.m. Pacific time. We, Kinda Funny, will be live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames at 5:45 a.m. That is 15 minutes before the Nintendo Switch reveal begins. Of course, we'll be joined by the one, the only, the incomparable Kat Bailey to talk about all things Nintendo, react alongside you as we watch the presentation, do a GamesCast after, and then, of course, welcome Paris and Gary to do Kinda Funny Games Daily, where they can give their spin on it before we play a whole bunch of Pokemon Nuzlocke, right?
A lot of Pokemon Nuzlocke. We return. We've given Nick 2 days off to catch his breath. He was looking a little tired. So I said, Nick, why don't you sit on the bed?
He's old.
Let me and Greg play some Monster Hunter. He didn't like that.
Of course
He's
not.
like, no, I want to play. And I was like, no, you're done. Okay, you sit down. So we'll be back on Wednesday for a big stream of Pokemon Nuzlocke. It'll be great.
If you are aware, it's a new month. It's April 1st, which means it's a new month of Patreon goodies. Over on patreon.com/kindafunny, you can get the new premium item. It is, in fact, a Cool Greg poster. Cool Greg has his very own poster designed by the incredible Panda Musk, including some minifig versions of the entire team. Grab this month's premium item before it hits the bricks. That's patreon.com/kindafunny. Kevin, if you saw the images in housekeeping, Roger hasn't posted it to social because Roger is also in a meeting. Thank you very much. So you can see it right there.
It looks great.
Go over there, get your premium item. Remember, each and every month on patreon.com/kindafunny, we do a premium item. It's all Panda Musk posters this year of us celebrating our 10th anniversary. Fantastic work, as always, Panda. And then, to round out all these announcements, it's been 1,200 days since we dropped Howard Hospital. 1,200 days without Verdansk. This Friday, the map that started it all returns, and so do the Jabroni boys. That's right, even Andy is back to play Call of Duty Warzone one more time. Friday at noon, Mike, Nick, Andy, and KRIS Anka in studio return to the game that brought them all together and also tore them apart for one mega marathon stream of laughter, frustration, and friendship. How stoked are you? What a week for you.
This is a big week for me. I'm so excited. We finally returned to Verdansk. We've been asking for it. It's been 3 long years. Nick, all right, Greg, I'm excited to be back. So
I'm happy to have you back. If you're a Kind of Funny member, today's Greg Way is 17 minutes about how video games should be revealed and teased and how you should do your podcasts and make a podcast you believe in. Thank you to our Patreon producers, and Totally Asked, Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today we're brought to you by Lost Skies, Monaco 2, and Rocket Money, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. Time for some news. 6 items on the Roper Report.
Baker's dozen!
Number 1 is a mega rock block of Nintendo Switch rumors, news, whatever you want to call it. I said Nintendo Switch 2 fever pitch is upon us. We will start at the one, the only IGN.com, where Wesley Yinpool writes, the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct will be 60 minutes long, Nintendo confirms. I added a Nintendo in there. Can you guess where? The Switch 2 Nintendo Direct will last around 60 minutes, Nintendo has confirmed. That's a long time for a Nintendo Direct and suggests that Nintendo has a great deal to run through in its most anticipated of showcases. The Switch 2 Nintendo Direct starts, we already said, April 2nd at 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. British Standard Time. Nintendo has said it will use the Nintendo Direct to share a closer look at Switch 2 following its drive-by reveal of the console earlier in the year. Snow, Michael, 60 minutes of Nintendo Switch 2.
That's a lot. I'm
How
impressed.
many games are you going to see?
How many games are we going to see? More than 9, less than 15.
Okay, I like how you did that.
You
too.
like that?
I
You like that?
so much.
Because like we're gonna get. See, my issue is like why I put it up to 15 is we're gonna get the. Oh man, we're showing you a bunch of old games that now play on Switch 2. We're gonna show you the.
So you're not counting those. You're coming in with more than 9, less than 15 brand new Nintendo Switch games.
Ooh, I like
games.
that. You know. Ooh, that's a lot.
It is a lot when you say it like that.
That's a lot when you say it like that.
Because there's going to be a montage.
There's going
to be a montage of our partners and their games that are working better on Switch 2 than ever. And I don't know if you count those. Do you count those?
That's why I think I'm counting those. That's why I get up to 15. If we're talking brand new Switch 2 titles, right, you probably get 5.
Okay.
5 is a solid launch.
And when you say brand new Nintendo Switch 2 titles, are you saying 5 first party or 5 total?
Oh, snap. You think first party.
There's going to be, yeah. Because it's like an hour long. We're talking about the rest of the year with Switch 2. So this can't just be here's our launch lineup.
Yeah.
Launch lineup, I don't expect 5 Nintendo Switch 2 games from Nintendo.
Okay.
That's too much. That's too much.
The year.
Yeah, because you'll get the Mario at the end of the year, right? Maybe a Zelda remaster in there somewhere.
A Mario Kart.
I still think that's a launch game.
Okay.
Tim and
that's the launch window.
The Nintendo jabronis are like, they think it's going to be a month out. They think you put out the Switch 2 and you have Prime 4 in there. Metroid Prime 4.
Okay.
That way people buy Metroid Prime 4 because they normally wouldn't. And then it's not a bad marketing strategy. It's not a bad marketing strategy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, 60 minutes is a long time to fill.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to come out there. You'll introduce the team. We'll snap. We'll bring out the Switch 2.
Are we going to snap?
We're definitely snapping. They're not dropping the snap.
You weren't on this GameScast, were you? Where we did the direct?
I listened. I watched.
So I really there's a big argument, everybody. Of course, the Nintendo Switch 2 now has these pop-on Joy-Cons. It's more of a clap when they clap in. So are they going to move to a clap, or I think they're going to do double snap now? Because I think the double snap is super crisp.
Double snap is tough, though. Only you can double snap that strong.
But it's like, I don't think, when they clap in the commercial, I think they're dubbing the
fake snap.
They're doing the fake snap. I don't think every time. Now look at this. You know what I mean?
Okay, maybe I kind of like that.
I want double snap. I do not want to move away from snap because I also just don't like, now take a look at this. Like, no,
we're not doing that.
And everybody claps differently, so trying to get a clap, no, 2 snaps.
Well, I mean, we have a lot of question marks as well. The hardware, how will they show that? How do they make that fun, engaging to watch that doesn't feel like a snooze fest of, here's all the insides of it. We're going to talk about this. This is what it's capable of. Let's make it fun.
That's not a snooze fest. That's awesome, though, right?
There's a fun way to do that.
Don't do like we're going to take the thing apart and show you the whirls inside, and here's the gyros, the whirls, and the bib-a-bob. I don't know.
Well, they got to do that. Remember the last time when we showed HD Rebel, we had ice cubes inside of the Switch
Nintendo's
Joy-Con.
weird as fuck. So that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Don't think that we're not going to go into a very awkward section of tomorrow's presentation. That's happening. Period. End of story.
How long? 5 minutes? 7 minutes?
Oh, the awkwardness or the overall?
On the awkwardness.
The awkwardness, I mean, as a grand total, you'll have less than 2 minutes of awkwardness because it'll be stuff like that of like, and then look, and you rumble, and you do this, and you spin that. And it's like, it's the weird name and them doing it. But they got to do that if that's what they're doing.
Pre-orders?
I think they do it a week out. I think
they say pre-orders go live in 1 week from today.
Yeah,
I like that. Okay. Not at the end of this show, get ready to rock.
No, because I think you then, not that there'd be, even though everybody out in the middle of America who really doesn't care but wants to upgrade their kid's Switch or maybe even their own or whatever, they're not necessarily going to be watching this live. And so that's why I just don't think you could do it. Let alone, guess what? We're talking about, what we got here, right? I'm talking about, what did I title this? Yeah. Final rumors and speculation, right? We are less than 24 hours removed from the Switch 2's reveal, right? Nothing has leaked. Why is nothing leaked, Mike? Because they don't trust fucking Amazon and Best Buy and all these people. They're like, you're gonna push the button tomorrow. They'd push the button today. Somebody would push the button today. Somebody would screenshot copies. Somebody would do. So it's like
no Assassin's Creed keychain hanging around.
There was the one rumor we talked about yesterday, right? Of the coming with a gold coin or whatever. And that sounds pretty real from Best Buy Canada. Like whatever, sure, okay, but like no, we're fine. We're fine.
Yeah, no leaks, no nothing to give you the heads up. I mean, you kind of know. You would assume Mario Karts, Metroid. Those are the 2 big players that play right here.
Yeah.
And then what's after that? Is there Zelda coming in? Is there the new Mario, like you said? What is that wow factor?
The big problem for Zelda is that I think tomorrow's Zelda, let's scratch your itch here, is going to be satiated by a section that is, here's how the Nintendo Switch 2 runs your Nintendo Switch 1 games better. Now,
Yeah.
that might be, of course, it runs it better if they've been patched, if they have this, whatever. I don't know what weird, at WND, throw them up, what weird Nintendo decision they're going to make that makes this weird. But I think they do that, and then that's where I think you're like, they're spending a lot of time with Breath of the Wild. Maybe Tears. I know Tim's prediction is that no, like Breath of the Wild will be the one they push and maybe remaster or whatever. Switch 2 eyes. I'm perverting Tim's prediction there a bit, but you know what I'm saying? But I could easily see it being like, hey, your games run better, period, on the Switch 2, just because of the power. But we are introducing versions that are Switch 2-ified, and we're kicking that off with Breath of the Wild and Tears. But maybe you don't do Tears. Maybe you let Tears wait, so you get that. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what they do, rather than I will be very excited and to a degree blown away tomorrow if it is, hey, this is your launch lineup, and let's also tease you with a Zelda that's coming hopefully next year. Let's look at an Animal Crossing that's 2 years away. Like, I don't see Nintendo doing that. I think this is about the immediacy of the Switch 2 is upon us. Here's why it looks. Here's what amazing features it is and what it does as a handheld and a thing. Here are the amazing exclusive games you're getting for it, and here are the Switch 2-ified things we're doing. The enhancements, right? I think that's how you do that.
How you bring some of your digital catalog along with you. We're going to make sure
the whole thing comes with you, right? Like, and I mean, that was a fun thing. I did this in a great way yesterday, right? But we went over and saw our man Tony Macaroni. Tony the pasta man, right? From Mill Valley Pasta, who did the Portillo pasta. I think still available, kindoffunny.com/store. Anyways, but he was like bagging up my pasta, and he's like, oh, by the way, Switch 2 Direct this week. I'm like, yeah, it's cool that you know that. He's like, yeah. He's like, my brother wants to take my Switch, and I'm going to let him do it, I think. Switch 2 is going to play my Switch 1 games. I'm like, yes, it will. You'll be all right. You know what I mean? So that's pretty exciting for somebody that he knew about that.
Yeah, of course. They'll have a small segment about that, right? They're going to reassure people who are on the outside, like, oh, snap, what happened?
And they're going to show that fucking weird-ass, like, digital version of how to share stuff they did.
Digital rental version? They'll definitely have that. That's right. What are some crazy off-the-wall things? We talk about this weird C button. We talk about the idea of it becoming a mouse.
Yeah. I think
what kind of weird stuff
I think the mouse is guaranteed.
Okay.
I think that's a real deal. Okay. I think that's a real deal. Holyfield, that makes sense. And I think that, like, how do you be Nintendo and be weird as fuck, but also not get in the way of your own success, which they've done in the past?
Yes.
And I think the fact that this looks so much like the Switch and is the Switch again, that you are limited then in what you can do with it, right? In terms of, like, here is the new tech, the new bell, the new whistle. And so I think, you drop that and you have that. And then my pie in the sky thing is, stick with me, here's Mario Paint, of course, because, like, we have that. And then here's a Nintendo Sim City. Here's, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're making some
Pikmin.
That's not my jam, but, like, I'd be happy for Lakers Head. Isn't that Lakers Head?
I love Pikmin. After Pikmin 4, I'm addicted to Pikmin, so I'm into it. Yeah, I really loved that. I would play more.
Pikmin 4 was one that I looked at the screenshots of, and I was like, oh, what a cute game. Oh, you went and found a Nintendo Switch. That's
so
a GameCube. That's great. I would never want to play this, but I appreciate what you're doing.
I'd like
Pikmin. Not what I want to do.
I mean, what my dream thing is, if we're gonna add a mouse to
hold on, I had one. Oh,
yeah.
Look at this. A YouTube chat crashed on me. I'm throwing it up because we had a super chat that I wanted to go.
Bring it in here.
Of course, you can be live in the chat with us right now. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames. Super chat over there. And then Onimus Prime says, "What do you foresee being the Switch 2's monkey paw? Great games, but no enhancement for Switch 1 games. Cool UI, but the power isn't that much of a jump. What concessions would you be okay with?"
I mean, it's the power not being strong enough.
You'd be okay with that?
Yes. Yeah. We've already put up with, 8 to 10 years of Switch 1 and seeing that at the end of the life cycle and looking at it, it's like, I know what I'm getting from that. I know that Nintendo knows how to massage that and work it really well with their first-party titles.
Of course.
We always talk about this. They look beautiful. They somehow run better than everything else. It just kind of happens. And so I accept that. And so I will accept that again as the monkey paw with the idea of, like, here's the Switch, but you're going to get your favorite Mario games. And I'm like, I like that. That's fine with me.
Yeah, it's an interesting one of, the monkey's paw of what are we going to wish for, but what do we have to lose to get it, or what's going to be perverted about it. I'm just so, and I know that I come from a very privileged position being a Sega kid.
Yeah.
That I'm just twisted and warped in a way that I just don't have that nostalgia for Nintendo. So I'm not, and I don't think you are either, somebody who looks at Nintendo's like, get up here, 4K it.
Yeah.
HDR it, be amazing. Look, it's like I don't give a shit. Is Animal Crossing gonna be fun? Is Cart gonna be fun? Like
Yes.
I'm only using my Switch for those experiences. It used to be I used to use my Switch for those experiences in indies, but then the Steam Deck.
Oh, yeah,
now I
of
got the
course.
Steam Deck and I got the best of every world except Nintendo and I guess first party exclusives anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know what they could alienate me with tomorrow, even if it was like great games but no enhancement for Switch 1 games. I'd be like, WND, but I don't care. Like, other than there's a couple things I'd like to go back to, but there's a million games I'd like to go back to that I'm not actually going to go back
I'm
to.
not
So
going
who
back.
cares? Like, why would they get in my way? Yeah.
No, I'm here for Nintendo games. I'm here for those special moments, and that's what I buy the console for. I think back in the day it was something different of the portability. Now I have a Steam Deck. I got Xbox trying to get into the market. It's not about the portability anymore. It's just about the Nintendo experience.
CJ Splitsound says, what about battery life or storage space? I'd imagine both are going to be dog shit.
They're going to make me buy another memory card, and it's like, why do I got to
whatever?
do
Who
that?
cares? The memory card,
get
like,
it.
again, hello, everyone. I served in the fucking Vita and PSP trenches with my Memory Stick Pro Duo, all right?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. The micro SD cards are so cheap on Amazon now. Not to mention, again, it's like, oh, cool, the new Switch is here. Reformat the one I think I have a terabyte in my Switch. Reformat that and put it into the Switch too, right? I'm the best.
I don't got that.
Oh, yeah?
I don't
And then
got
battery
that.
life, the battery's going to be bad. Not bad, but it's going to be this. Guess what? This will be the worst Nintendo Switch 2 battery you will ever have, because they will very shortly after this put out a new model of the Switch 2 that has an even better battery.
Smart.
Then there'll be an OLED Switch 2 that has all this different. You know what I mean? It's like,
How long
I
is
carry
the
an Anchor
perfect-
battery pack for my stupid Steam Deck. I'll carry
Yeah,
it for this
you
too.
How long is the perfect battery life? You've been playing a lot more handheld than I do. How long does it need to last? What
I
is
mean,
the
in a
preferred
perfect
time?
world?
Perfect world.
10 hours.
I like that.
For me,
that.
I want it to be that I can get across the country on a flight
Yep.
and then it maybe, tinker while I get to the
A little
hotel
bit in
room.
the hotel room.
Yeah, so I mean, even then I'd say, 7?
Let's
8?
give me 8 to 10.
Yeah,
8 to
yeah,
10 is
yeah.
the dream area right there. Is right.
Nathan, the viewer, says 20 hours. Nathan, what the fuck are you doing? Are you going up Everest? You stopping at base camp so you got to play your Switch? You're
I mean,
fine.
that's the pipe dream. That's
You know what I
like that.
mean?
We
Like, what are you
gotta have
talking
that.
about? You're 20
That's
hours
crazy.
away from a plug at any time.
20 hours is a big time.
But
right
again, it's
there.
like also that thing where it's like I am a worry wart with batteries.
Okay.
Where when I see it start dropping, I'm like, and then I'm from the age where they'd be like, don't charge it until it's dead. You charge it early, you're gonna ruin the battery life. Like, So like my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I made such a big fucking deal about this battery when I bought the Steam Deck that I bought the giant Anchor power battery that I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the amount of times I've actually been so engaged in something on Steam Deck on a flight, where I didn't talk to Jen, I didn't fall asleep, I didn't do like it's just not happening. Where I'm like, oh fuck, I need the power brick.
Yeah. Boom, dead.
Whatever.
Okay.
Anyways.
Battery. The Joy-Cons. What do you think? Will we get some additional colors to this, or will it just be hey, here's the initial colors, this is what you get?
I think it's the initial colors.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I probably am wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I would love it to be that like they bust that out. But I think they're going for simplicity here in terms of like, we don't want you to buy another set of Joy-Cons. We want you to buy the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. We want you to buy the Nintendo Switch headset, if that's the thing.
of course.
I think it's that they want you to buy that accessory lineup rather than the Joy-Cons that they know they can milk you for the rest of your life.
They're gonna get
and so, I don't even
You don't
like
think one set?
I think one set. I know for Switch 1, right? It was the either gray or the pink and blue, red and blue,
Yes.
whatever you want to call it. So it's like I get that, but where they're putting the color in here and what we've seen for
You
Switch
see
2
that?
in the
It's interesting.
in the
Yeah,
inner
yeah.
rim, I feel like it's weird then to have we're going to sell another version that's the red and blue on the outside and the gray on the inside. Like I guess that's what you would do, but
Yeah. I mean, they'll have the bright colors on the outside eventually.
Eventually.
Maybe not day one.
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
said,
eventually
but-
for sure.
Yeah, eventually they'll get wild.
But you know how
and
Nintendo
wacky.
is? Like, they sell stuff like that so better than anybody else.
Oh.
Where it's like, I look at that and I'm like, oh, yeah, but, give me GameCube Atomic Purple. Give me...
I bought that nuclear yellow, and it never looked good, but I
loved
loved it.
I loved it. I loved it. Heartbreaker, I once,
that.
Jen borrowed those Joy-Cons from Splatoon.
Okay.
For a demo she was running at PAX, and they came back and they were always a little sticky and didn't work right. I was so mad. You know what I mean?
So no Joy-Con 1s working on the Joy-Con or on the
yeah.
Switch 2.
Now, again...
Not even like a Connect, like a wirelessly one.
Oh, I
You
can
know
see-
what
I
mean?
could do-
See what
I
I'm
could
talking
see a
about? It's
wireless Connect for sure.
Oh, snap, we need a 4-player game, but we only have the 2 normal Joy-Cons. Let's get Joy-Con backups here.
Let me bring you into our next news
know
story,
what I
all
mean?
right? Because again, we're talking about all these Nintendo Switch 2 stuff and little rumors
Let's
and stuff
have
like
some
that. FCC filing could indicate a possible upgrade for Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. This is Eric Van Allen at IGN.com. It's the day before the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. With less than 24 hours to go until Nintendo reveals its plans for its next console, a new Federal Communications Commission, FCC, filing could potentially point to some of those plans, at least when it comes to the Switch 2 controller lineup. As spotted on Fama boards and picked up by Nintendo-centric sites like Go Nintendo, an FCC filing emerged yesterday, March 31st, from Nintendo under product code BEE-008. It looks to be a registration for a new game controller. Some fans believe this to be the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. It bears mentioning that this is speculation, as Nintendo hasn't confirmed plans for a Nintendo 2 Pro controller yet. Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller yet. However, a few features do seem to indicate this would be a Pro controller, like Bluetooth and NFC capability. The big thing to note about this filing, drumroll please, Mike, if this is the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, is that it could include a headphone jack.
Whoa! Hey!
The original Nintendo Switch 1 Pro controller didn't have a headphone jack of any kind, while controllers like the DualSense and Xbox Series controllers do feature a port. A goofy, stupid story, but some interesting things to pull from it, I think.
Pull it.
Number one, Nintendo's like, we fucking perfected it with Switch 1. How do we sell people a headphone jack? Okay,
Headphone
that's
jack.
what
did we forget? Headphone
back
jack.
to talking about the Switch 1 and what are you going to be able to put in? Cursor makes sense because we got this fucking layout for a Switch 2.
Yeah.
We need to keep it. We can't fuck it up. We can't change that much about
Can't
it.
change
Do
much.
that. Put that in there. I think that's interesting. Then it's the other thing too. One of my argument about having no color Joy-Cons is buy all this random shit. And one of the things I was saying is I bet Nintendo sells its own headset. And I was thinking they might be finally committing to an in-unit game online voice chat rather than the app.
I would love that.
outside of
I would love that.
And I would think a headphone jack might point to that as well. Who knows if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, you think in the future of this being a more powerful console, you have games like Call of Duty coming over, you have games like Fortnite, having the ability to use in-game chat, plugging in a headphone right away and being able to communicate with your friends would be that next generation of Nintendo I'd love to see, making that easier than what it already is. And so, yeah, you're going to sell that cheap Nintendo headset that we all know. There will be other companies that jump in on that. But, yeah, try to think of my Pro controller and how much I love those Pro
Great
controllers.
controller.
I was very impressed with what Nintendo did with that. And it's like, yeah, what is the small elevation that I really need? I don't need much on that. I actually don't want much on that because it's just an easy, get-it-done controller. A headphone jack is probably the only thing I really need.
And I think that comes back around to what you were talking about. Joy-Cons, yes, I thought you were asking, are they going to make an adapter to snap them on and do the thing? No, but I could assume that too because they're crazy. But more importantly, I do think, they're going to work. I think Nintendo's always been very good about their controllers and crossing over. So I think this will be all your old shit works. If you're having people over to the house, guess what? You don't need to buy 4 new Pro controllers, whatever. You can throw all that in there and have them play with it. But there is this limited feature here of a headphone jack and probably something else, whatever the C button is,
Yeah, Gen 1 Pro controllers, those work for sure. Yeah, those extra Joy-Cons that you have, if you slide the shoulder buttons on them, can they connect to my Switch 2 for Becky and Susie, the kids that are coming to visit, so we can play 4 players or more? That would be nice, right? To reduce the initial cost, right? We'll eventually get that second pair of Joy-Con 2s, but let us use Joy-Con 1s for the time being when Mario Kart is day one. That would be important.
Steven S. Super Chats like you can on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and says, Greg and Mike, what Switch 2 announcement tomorrow would blow your mind? Huge fan here, guys. Keep up the great work. I've answered this a million times. Again, I want an Animal Crossing as soon as I can get it. I'm not expecting it. I don't want to. If they also did an Ocarina of Time remake tomorrow, I will lose my fucking mind, but I'm not holding my breath for that. What's going to get some Mike going? Because you're reacting with us.
Yeah, I'm reacting.
5:45.
I could bring you. I wish I gave the actual Snowbike Mike lineup of my dreams because I think a lot of people would laugh at what I want.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
And
What's the show?
What would blow me away is a Mario Sports title day one. That would get me excited.
What if it wasn't Wii Sports or like that? It was like Nintendo. It was we're doing Mario Sports and it's a collection of different games.
That would be pretty lit.
Yeah.
I would be down for that. But yeah, if you give me a Mario Sports Day 1, I would be really excited. I would get hype in this chair. But yeah, my dreams are much different than a lot of the Nintendo fans, right? Because I grew up with an N64, but it was all third-party games. So what does Snowbike Mike want? I want Ken Griffey Jr. to flip the hat back and say Ken Griffey Jr. baseball's back.
Hell yeah.
I want Rampage World Tour to show back up. I want Gauntlet Legends. I want them to be like, you know what? You loved Gauntlet Legends 1 and Dark Legacy. Don't worry about the Xbox 360 one we did. We're back
Get on
with
here.
those because you
Don't
and I,
worry
we
about it.
love Diablo. What if we could just get Diablo God of Legends? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I'd love that.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
in for that, right? I go down the list. It's like, just give me nothing but Nintendo sports games. I'm in, right? I want all of that. I want that cursor mode. And you know what I want with it, Greg?
What's that?
I want StarCraft 2 on my Nintendo Switch with the mouse cursor.
Okay, you know what?
Let
That's
me
not
get
out of the order,
fucking weird and wacky with it because then I can get Age of Empires on that thing. Let me have some fun. So, yeah, you want me to get really weird? Those are the things I want. But those won't happen.
Matt Sanders says, do you think we'll see a trophy/achievement system debut at the Switch 2 event?
A trophy-like system.
Or achievements, yeah.
They don't have achievements already?
No, and they won't. That's not Nintendo's bag.
You don't think so?
No. I mean, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
Because clearly, in the seasons of my life, I'm further away from my trophy hunting days than ever.
Yeah, of course.
But I really do feel in general that simmered down a bit. Now that I believe we've all become so platform agnostic, and I
Yeah.
know there's plenty of people who aren't, but you know what I mean? Like, in general, oh, you're playing this on your phone, you're playing this on your Steam Deck, you're playing this over there. Like, I feel like that thing is like,
How about a fun, like an account level? The more games you play or the
well, that's
hours
the money
you play,
thing they do, right?
we just give you numbers right next to your name just to make you feel like, hey, look at my account. I have something cool. I'm 12 now instead of 8, or I'm 24. I don't know, just something fun like
I just
that.
don't see him doing that.
Yeah, I don't know on that. What about remember on the Wii we made the Mii's?
Yeah.
And those kind of died off and we don't really
Sadly, yeah. I love
and the
these.
Xbox avatars, RIP.
God, I still use mine. yeah.
Will we ever bring those back for funsies?
I mean, they've tried like in
Yeah.
different games, but it just ain't the same.
Not the
Because the Wii was such a thing, man. Your little plaza, your people running
So
around.
much fun. Everybody had to have one in your
Street
household.
passing.
Everybody
Come
was
on,
doing
was
it.
fucking awesome. Hey, you're sitting
Yeah.
there making grandma and Admiral Akbar. Jake wants to know, will we see a Call of Duty tomorrow?
I mean, that is the future of the Switch too, right? Is that in a montage of games of the future that we'll see? Probably. Is this Call of Duty this year the Call of Duty that hits Switch 2, or is it the following year, right? Is a Warzone capable of this? That's a massive game, but they'll probably leverage the cloud like we've seen the Switch do before with larger titles. I don't know. I don't think this year is the Call of Duty year. I think next year is Call of Duty year.
Well, let me give you a last part of this rock block of Switch 2 news and speculation. Switch 2 games will be the focus of 2 post-direct live streams this week. This is Eddie at GameSpot. It's going to be a big week for the Nintendo and the Switch 2, as Nintendo has confirmed it will follow up the April 2nd Nintendo Switch 2 Direct with 2 more days of live streams focused on games and console. Nintendo's Treehouse Live broadcast series returns April 3rd and 4th for what's being called a Nintendo Switch 2 presentation featuring hands-on gameplay of Nintendo Switch 2 games. These Treehouse broadcasts will begin at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on April 3rd and 4th. If the Treehouse Live events for Switch 2 games are similar to the previous ones, fans can expect Nintendo to go deep. Previous Treehouse Live events featured Nintendo developers and designers discussing games at length while showing off gameplay. In short, you won't want to miss them. The April 3rd event is 4 hours long, while the April 4th show is 3 hours long, according to Nintendo.
We're getting our own E3.
That's 7 hours of Switch 2 games. That's fucking awesome.
We're getting our own E3 week of Nintendo.
How confident now are you? More than 9, less than 15?
Oh man, I think I'm feeling pretty good on my dartboard right
Yeah,
now.
that feels
Actually,
pretty good. I like that. I
Up
like
towards
that. I
that
like that.
15 marker for sure. That's a lot of games to show. You got to think though, each game's going to get 20 to 30. You know what I mean? So I think that time might sound like a lot, but each developer's
30
probably going to
sounds
get
about right, like how we do our thing. But still, that's
pretty
a lot.
large
Yeah.
chunk. It's a lot of time, but a lot of games as well.
It's 14 games if you went the 30 minutes apiece.
Elden Ring on your Switch. That would get 30 minutes. That would be crazy, right?
Are you how confident? Because I feel like that slam dunk has to happen.
You put Dark Souls on it, I feel like Elden Ring would be a massive win, and probably, I don't want to call it it's not a system seller, but it probably helps sell units for sure.
Oh, for sure.
I
Yeah,
think it'd
100%.
get people excited for sure.
Yeah.
Slam dunk tomorrow, 45% for me. I'm not fully sold on it being day one.
Day one.
Okay,
Take it to the bank.
I like
That's a
that.
big one
I like
right
that.
there. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to be humongous. Kyle Bean super chats and says, prediction, the new 3D Mario will be, drumroll, Mario Universe. It'll be more open world feeling, Bowser's Fury, but still space themed like Galaxy.
Okay. I would have to be schooled on that. I'm not the biggest Mario player.
I want them to go away. In the next 3D Mario, I'm an old guy. You know me, Mario World.
Yeah.
Can we just let's just go to the Mushroom Kingdom. Let's stay on a planet.
Okay.
I don't need the space. I don't need the space.
You don't want
I don't
New
need
Donk
Cappy
City?
taking me. New Donk City was great. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I'm not, I was the only one here who was correct that year. I voted for Mario Odyssey be our game of the year.
He did.
Some stupid Zelda game came out. It was like, oh, he doesn't talk. It's great. I don't remember why they liked it. So I'm saying let's bring it in. Let's bring it in.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
Let's make it, and then not still be cool and adventures and whatever. But like, come on.
Okay, I like that, Greg. That's what you want. I like that.
That's what I want.
What if it could be Mario? Thinking like the normal Mario single player games, but you have a co-op partner and you get to run around. I'm Luigi, and we just run the whole thing together.
Sure.
I'd like that.
Okay.
I want to share those moments together.
I mean, Wonder is kind of like that. But you want open world?
Yeah, I want open world.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if it was what if it's online? What if it's an MMO? We're all Mario.
We're all Mario.
Yeah.
4-player Mario.
Mario multiverse.
I
You know
love
what I mean?
that.
Insanity. Justin says, calling it now. Nintendo makes a Mario RTS or Mario Paint. Oh, I'm sorry, Mario Point and Click, a genre that uses the mouse more comfortably. Probably. I don't know about an RTS, but I could see it for sure. I'm not saying like no, not at all.
RTS, yeah.
I mean, what Rabbids was that, right? Mario Cross Rabbids.
Yes.
We were doing.
Yeah,
that was turn-based strategy.
That was
right?
turn-based strategy, XCOM style. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to take advantage of this somehow. They'll make fun in unique ways throughout its lifespan. But yeah, what's that first initial reveal to make you say, oh, I have to go into cursor mode now and check it out?
Yep. Mr. Murther says, chances we will see a Mario 64 remake.
There's kind of your, let's bring it back ground.
I mean, I would flip the fuck out. I love Mario 64.
Yeah.
If you were remaking Mario 64, that'd be cool.
Yeah, what if the next Mario is just Mario 64? We've just completely blown it up, made it our own.
That'd be insane. That'd be awesome. It would be right where I'd want to be. You know what I mean? Everybody's popping. Neo Aoshi says, damn, a 64 remake would pop off. Jesus says, wild shit. He would be all about that.
I like that.
Yeah, but I don't think it's likely. I think they'll push forward and do something new. Again, they'll push forward and do something new, and whatever the shtick of the thing is, if it is the cursor deal, there's going to be some kind of cursor mode out there you got to go do.
Will we get another like ARMS like video game?
Oh, I fucking hope not.
Like, will we get something that uses the Joy-Cons in those way?
You
where
definitely
there's a lot
will.
of movement on the screen.
What it will be, I don't know, but you definitely will.
So no
get that.
ARMS.
I mean, you might. It might be ARMS too.
Probably a Nintendo Sports type title.
Probably,
right?
yeah.
But that was kind of recently. We kind of had one. They really nailed it with volleyball. I'll tell you what, the idea, the addition of volleyball in that, beautiful, beautiful work, okay? Basketball, not so much, but the volleyball, you really thought that one through. Great job.
We will find out, everybody, tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Remember, we will be live 15 minutes before with the Kind of Funny crew ready to react alongside Kat Bailey to all of this Nintendo Switch 2 news. And this, of course, means your programming day at Kind of Funny is being pushed up quite a bit. Remember, 6 a.m. we are reacting, I guess, for 60 minutes. 7 a.m. it'll be the GamesCast post show. That means about 8 a.m. it'll be Kind of Funny Games Daily with Paris and Gary. About 9 a.m. it will be a stream start for you guys playing Pokemon.
Yep.
And if you are at a different time zone, that means that the stream will start 1 hour before Games Daily usually begins. So pray for us. All right, understand what we're doing for you. Good Lord. Oh, John June Dow. What times does Tim get shit on? I'm probably gonna do it right away. You want to be here at 5:45.
Oh, right when they have the big epic moment.
You want to be here at 5:45.
You're done. You're done.
When I take Tim's axe to the cleaners and get my fucking stars. I've waited long enough. It's my time, all right? Speaking of, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to call somebody. We got to start prepping Tim's friends. But before then, I'll remind you that we couldn't have these kind of fun shenanigans here without your support. Thank you for loving Kind of Funny, whether you're just watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames or listening on podcast services around the globe, whether you're watching live on Twitch or YouTube. Please, of course, consider, if you're on Twitch, giving us your free Prime subscription. It doesn't auto-renew. We need it. And then, of course, consider getting a Kind of Funny membership. Your Kind of Funny membership gets you all of our shows. That's $20 a week, ad-free, and a daily dose of me in a 15 to 20-minute podcast I do each and every work day. However, right now you're not using your benefits, so here's a word from our sponsors.
This episode's brought to you by Lost Skies. What would you do if you woke up and the world around you was now floating high in the clouds? Lost Skies is the new open-world survival-like that puts the power of exploration and choice in your hands. Use the physics-based grappling hook, glider, and your own custom airship to traverse the remains of this fractured world and uncover its mysteries. You and up to 5 friends will harness the power of ancient technology to survive the hostile islands that scatter the horizon and the threats that lurk in the sky itself. The battles are intense, so it's up to you to build a skyship to shelter you in fierce storms and take the battle to gigantic monsters. Want to take a break from fighting in the skies? Use the intuitive island creator and share your builds with the community. Head over to Steam and wishlist Lost Skies today and discover what's lurking beyond the horizon. This episode's brought to you by Monaco 2. Gather your crew, plan your heist, and let the chaos unfold in Monaco 2. Return to Monaco, a city teeming with excellent scores and gullible marks ripe for getting parted from their prized possessions. Go it alone or tackle heists as a team of 4 with online and local co-op. Just remember, even the best laid plans can blow up in your face, so you'll have to stay on your toes. Monaco 2 is the sequel to the cult classic Monaco. What's yours is mine that expands on every aspect of the game. New characters bring unique abilities and playstyles to help you escape the heat. And with new modes and procedurally generated levels, every run is full of surprises. The heist is on when Monaco 2 arrives on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation on April 10th. Y'all know how important it is to wishlist these games. It helps the developers so much, so please wishlist Lost Skies and Monaco 2. This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. You sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. Thanks to Rocket Money, you can see all of your subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones you're not using anymore, and save more money. Rocket Money has helped multiple members of Kind of Funny learn that they're still paying for things they totally didn't even realize. You know who I'm talking about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny today. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny.
And we're back. Hold on.
We're making phone calls.
Is this Curran Wong?
Oh, it sure is.
Curran, it's Greg Miller. You're live on twitch.tv. So you're on Kind of Funny Games Daily. You're live everywhere. How are you?
Oh my God, it's my first time being live.
Yeah.
I'm good. What about you?
I'm great. How long have you known Tim Geddes?
Shit, since we're in the 6th grade, so that like 24 years.
And isn't it kind of messed up that he's never put you live on the show before and only I have?
Dude, I can't. What kind of best friend is he?
You know what I mean? I got a friend named Poe. I call him all the time. I ruin his life. I put him on the show. Now, speaking of ruining lives, Curran, I don't know. I know you're busy. You have a big boy job. By the way, thank you for making the document for In Review that calculates where the movies go. That's very helpful.
Oh, you know it, man. Spreadsheet legend.
I don't know if you know this. Your
Goat.
best friend has a mental deficiency where he doesn't understand what a majority is. So like it literally it'll be it's 2-2 and it'll go, well, we win. And I'm like, why? And he goes, majority. I'm like, that's not what a majority is. You know, I digress. I'm not sure if you've seen Curran. I know you're very busy. But Tim robbed me of my stars on Kind of Funny Game Showdown, and then I won stars in the bank, and so tomorrow I'm cashing it in during the Switch 2 Direct to take the 3 stars from him. And I know you know how much Nintendo means to him, but I also know that you know he's a very weak little boy. And so when I take these stars from Tim, he will be devastated. And so I wanted to call his best and closest friends today so they could be ready to pick him up.
My God, you don't know what this is going to do to him. I'm always ready to pick up Tim. We've got drinks lined up on Saturday already, man. So you just let me know what I need to do.
Well, I would bring the tissues too and just be ready, okay? Thank you so much.
Oh, of course, anytime, man.
All right, talk to you later.
All right.
All right, bye. Tim sucks.
Tim sucks. Coming for you, Tim.
Now this is. I saw in the chat.
Yeah.
Andy Cortez go by and just
Andy.
say, "Man, I hate this." You know what I mean?
Where are you? A lot of unaccounted for hours right now.
I think somebody's got to call
Come out
Andy's
here on
brother.
the stage and hang out with us.
But I've invited Andy to the stage because I need Andy on the stage. The show won't progress until we get Andy on the stage.
why'd you
And
go-
if, Andy, if you're watching and do that thing where you're like, oh man, I don't want to go out there, I'll let you know this is not for a bad reason, Andy.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy? This is
It's a
not
good
for a
one.
bad reason.
Unaccounted for hours. Get him out of
Okay?
here.
You know, this isn't, we're not doing the trial of Andy. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Andy Cortez.
Andy! Andy!
I know him.
We just called Curran. You know what I mean? I saw you said you hate this.
Well, it's just uncomfortable, you know. That's all it is.
It felt pretty good in the moment.
Well,
I'll tell you what, it
let
felt
me
pretty
see
good.
if I can turn your frown upside down. Over at kindoffunny.com/you're-wrong, Nitro39 wrote in and says, on February 5th, 2025, Mike and Andy on KFGD made a pizza bet on how long the 4/2, that's April 2nd, Nintendo Direct would go. Mike guessed 47 minutes and 25 seconds. Andy guessed 50 minutes and 28 seconds. Congrats to Andy on the win since he was closer.
We're getting Golden Boy. Oh, shit. I'm ordering us pizza.
We're getting it today anyway for Monster Hunter, yeah?
Golden Boy's been the last couple times. It's really been affecting
Oh, his body.
the bowels.
Let me tell you.
Oh, shit.
I first off, if that's what we're getting for Monster Hunter, that's what we're getting for
Do
Monster
you want
Hunter.
that?
Because
His
I'm
body's
gonna
been
put this
affected.
out there.
That way.
Golden Boy, give
Wow.
me Toto's every time. You know what I mean?
Oh, Toto's every time.
Okay.
Wow,
I think-
okay.
Photos every time.
I don't know what it was about the first time that we got Golden Boy, but I feel like
Something hit.
maybe just something was going on with me that day that sometimes you go watch a shitty movie and you're just in a good mood and it hits with you really well. Something about Golden Boy that day hit especially.
The Borderlands movie.
But dude, the last time during one of the Pokemon streams, man, I was like,
he said it to me. He said, Mike, I'm not
Mike was
feeling
like,
well.
they're like, do you all want to start the shoot without Andy? And I was like, yeah, go ahead and start without me. They're like, where are you going? I was like, I'm just dealing with some stuff. I got some stuff going on.
All right, we're going to get Toto's. Don't go anywhere.
I think it's like the more real a cheese is, the less processed it is, the more it fucks with me.
Oh.
And I think, and that's a good thing for the restaurant, obviously, because it means that they're more legitimate and they're not.
They got that good.
They got more like realistic cheese, you know.
Yeah.
You know what, Andy? Take my seat because it's story number 2
Yeah.
on the Roper
Sit
Report,
down.
and it's the Elden Ring Nightreign official Ironeye character trailer. Have you watched this?
Let's talk
No,
about it.
I haven't.
Oh,
All
good.
right, then
Sit
you
down.
can
Let's
first.
talk about
You can
this.
react. I'm not gonna have anything to say worthwhile. I'll fill my water. Kevin, you play.
Let me react to this. Let me watch this. I still gotta make a thumbnail too.
Hair
Fucking-
looks great.
fucking
Let
Ro-
that hair go, baby. I
Rod
like
just
it.
dealing with a goddamn hysterectomy. I don't even know what that is.
Didn't you already make a thumbnail?
No, the GameScast
Oh,
one.
okay.
He's cooking.
Ready?
He's cooking. Oh,
He's coming back, so I'm holding.
Whoa, wait,
Who's
let's play
got
the
a
trailer.
hysterectomy?
Let's play the trailer. I was just
I
thinking.
don't think you know what a hysterectomy is.
I don't think. I said it. And I, was, I don't know what that is.
Archer. It's an Archer.
Oh, this is the one that reminded me of the Pokemon. There, Chad, you know that green Pokemon that shoots bows and arrows? That's what it reminded me of.
No way.
They got a
Oh,
Pokemon that
shit.
does that? That's crazy.
Whoa. Oh, god damn. Because we saw glimpses of this dude in the very, very first trailer, but this is the first time we're getting like a deep
Really?
dive.
Okay.
Wow. Because here's the thing, bow and arrow gameplay in Souls games has always sucked, Mike.
I was gonna say I told Barrett this morning. I was like, bow and arrow gameplay. Never used it in the
It's
games.
always been shitty. It's always the thing that you use when you're dealing with a tough area in a Souls game, and you're like, I just want to bring
let me
you
draw
towards
one
me,
out. Yeah.
and or maybe like I know you're a pain in the ass, so let me just kind of shoot your ass
Yeah.
way the hell over there. Oh, I just did that Shrine of Amana, Dark Souls 2, right?
Okay.
And that was a big bow area because there's a lot of like ranged dudes that poke and prod you from all over the place. This looks cool. So this is something that I would want to try out on keyboard and mouse.
Oh, okay.
But overall, like I hope that they did a lot of tuning,
Yeah.
and I hope that whatever they're implementing and whatever they're doing bow and arrow wise could be brought into the main Souls
Oh,
games.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
Ooh. Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I think
learn from it, elevate it.
Yeah,
bring it
I
to
think
the
these
next.
are all kind of like testing grounds for
Yeah.
things that they can iterate on in the future. Because again, bow and arrow gameplay has always sucked. It's never been fun. It's always clunky and weird.
Yeah.
This looks like they're going for the Dragon's Dogma 2 version of bow gameplay where
Okay.
it felt way actiony and your character just jumping like the dude just did a
you
fucking
see
wall
that?
jump. You know what I mean?
See, the backstab was nasty
Yeah,
too.
so sick.
For me, it's interesting and exciting of like now people get to try different play styles that maybe they didn't invest in
Right.
in all their Dark Souls runs and Elden Ring. Like when I see that, I'm like, oh, I've never used a bow in any of these games. Oh, I'll try that guy out. That will be fun for a run or two and see if I like that. And I think that's a special one for me. You bring up test bed, not only for the devs, but for the players, right? To get to try these things that I've never done before that maybe I'll jump in and like and enjoy. I do worry though, coming from a spellcaster perspective, you saw how difficult it was to maintain mana and keep that flow going. There's a way, but it wasn't as smooth as you'd want. And the onboarding process is tough. Will I run out of arrows? Will I have to go chase arrows down? Am I crafting arrows mid-session? Do I just have unlimited arrows to make it fun? Because there's going to be a moment here where if you don't have unlimited arrows, you're going to be like, oh shit, I've run out of arrows and this sucks.
Well, to go to your first point about the mage gameplay,
Yeah.
I think that was such a specialized class of mage that there will be, because again, we got to play with 4 characters. This is the 5th one we're seeing. There will be 8,
Yes.
I believe, at launch. There will be 8 at least, but I don't know if that's going to all happen at launch or not. But the mage gameplay that you're experiencing, I got to assume, and I got to hope, at least for the majors out there, that was just the preliminary look at a really, really specialized character that requires all sorts of weird strategy.
Okay.
And then you'll get more of a run-of-the-mill, normal-ass mage
You think
later
you get
on.
a different spellcaster in 7 or 6, 7, 8 character.
I think so. I think that's what they got to
Let's go through
do.
what's missing, right? You got Hawkman, which is your paladin tank.
Yeah, he's your tank.
You got your generic warrior. You got your thief, right? Your little assassin you were playing as.
Yeah,
You got we'll call her the spellcaster, but let's just call her the witch right now, because maybe she might be that elevated
The
spellcaster, like
recluse
you're saying.
is what she
and
was.
then number 5 is now the bow and arrow. So what are you missing from this?
Well, I think I think we have to think less about class and more about starting weapon types. Because,
Okay.
you know, even though these characters can kind of go wherever they want and do whatever they
They
want,
can do anything they want.
it all comes down to what the passives are. The passives are going to be what sort of
Interesting.
decide these classes, right?
Because I go off of abilities. What are the abilities that are missing?
Yeah,
that
the
these guys
passives.
will be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we have the Eagle tank dude who jumps up into the air,
Yeah.
launches down, does a big sort of ground pound AoE
AoE.
attack.
Uh-huh.
And those are things that can be upgraded. You have the Duchess, which is the super fast roguelike character. But then again, the abilities, well, I guess her ultimate is make everybody invisible, which is
Everybody
awesome
invisible.
as hell.
Yeah.
But I guess we sort of have to think about what the other classes would be doing passives wise.
Okay. Okay.
Because
You mean ability wise?
yeah, well, like
I guess I consider passives more like those extra skills that you never touch, right? Because like those are active abilities that you're calling upon.
yeah, the I guess like the Duchess has the passive ability that her instead of a normal dodge roll, she has like the dash or whatever. You know what I mean?
okay.
Like that's kind of what I look at to be a passive. You're right though. Like abilities wise is what I should be saying
Yeah.
because you have 2 per character. But having 3 additional ones, I think that's where they can get
Yeah,
really
where do we
creative. You know.
So you think you do think we get another spellcaster in the 3?
Oh, there will definitely be another
you think we get a
spellcaster.
big tank, a more meatier tank, like a Mike? Remember Big Mike who came and played with us, and he
Oh.
was like the true
Mike
tank.
Minotti.
Like the Hawkman is like close to a tank, but I think there's a true tank.
Greg's just laughing over here.
Like that, I call him Big Mike.
You remember when Big Mike, you're like, oh yeah, Mike Minotti. Like you actually, he's got a fucking name.
You just say Mike Minotti from Giant Bomb at Games. Yeah, no. Mike Minotti was our 3rd summon when we were taking
Yes,
on
shout
General Consort Radon, right? And essentially went for a build that was very popular at the time, which was get the largest shield you can get and just stay
tank
there
it,
and
yeah.
and take everything as your character's going for. I think that's definitely a possibility.
You think I think that's 1 out of the 3. Somebody put in a healer. Where do we fall on that?
For sure. I think there will absolutely be healing involved. You kind of have a bit of that with the
Somebody was
recluse.
healing, right?
The
Okay,
recluse's
yeah.
ultimate marks enemies, and those enemies that you hit, whoever hits them gets heals
Yeah.
back or gets life back. You will definitely have some characters that specialize in that. And I think that'll be perfect for a mage type character. And, you know, I think I'm excited about what the future of this could mean for archery in Souls games, because again, it's always kind of sucked. And this looks more actiony. This looks way more
fun,
way
to
more
play.
involved, way more fun for sure. Because the boringness in busting out the and not only the boringness, but the cumbersome nature of having to hold that button and then this button to then aim down sights. It's always kind of sucked.
Clunky
but
and slow.
You need ranged characters in Nightreign because, again, the way that you resurrect your friends. Kevin, maybe this is something. Is Kevin there or Barrett there?
Kevin's in there.
Kevin, the way that you resurrect your friends is by damaging them. So there are cool moments where if you're a ranged character or if you're just a melee character, you pick up a bow anyways because you'll see your friend who gets downed over there and it's like, I got to shoot him from over here and resurrect him instead of having to, make that mad dash and run after him and melee him. I can't believe this game's so close. It's a game.
June?
It's a game that I keep forgetting about. You know what I mean?
Hey, here's one. Switch 2.
Oh.
We talk about Elden Ring.
Oh.
We're not adding. We haven't been talking about this. This Switch 2?
Oh. Dude, I don't see why not.
Think about it.
Remember, the Pro Controller's got a headphone jack.
Yep. Pro Controller's got a headphone jack.
I don't see why not.
Why don't we think about that from now
Sounds like
on?
a pizza bed, honestly. You know what I mean? Double it.
But we both want it. I don't know.
Yeah, we're already getting. We're getting the pizza today, boys. We're getting the pizza.
I'll take the bet. I'll say no, it's not there. Nightreign, not there tomorrow.
Okay. Fine, I'll do it. Just because I want pizza. Just because I want pizza, win or lose.
Okay, thanks for having me on, guys.
Bye, big dog.
We'll see you for GameScast. We're going to talk Den of Wolves.
Really excited.
Yeah.
While I was on the ground, Andy, I started thinking through this thing. I kind of like hey, everybody, let's discuss headlines for GamesCast. Chat. I don't think, random people would just click on Den of Wolves preview. I think, this is,
Next big.
well, I put no, that's not the right one. I went with, you just have to say it on the show. It's Cyberpunk Payday. Would you, chat, do you like next big co-op shooter, Den of Wolves preview, or it's Cyberpunk Payday, Den of Wolves hands-on? What do we like? Do we like Cyberpunk? Do you like Cyber, or do you like, what was the other one? Co-op.
Den of Wolves sounds like an indie band. They're opening up at Coachella.
Man.
Yeah, people with Cyberpunk, yeah.
Okay.
All right, there it is.
Coachella.
It's Cyberpunk Payday.
Coming soon.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy.
See ya.
I love that kid,
So smart, so talented. But where are the hours? Where's the time spent with me?
It's a great question.
You know what I mean? Where's my Friday night hangout? Where's my Tuesday night at Spices? Think about it, chat.
Kevin, I condensed the Roper report since we're running late, and we'll jump to number 3, layoffs at Eidos Montreal. This is Eddie at GameSpot. The trend of layoffs in the video game industry continues as game developer Eidos Montreal, which is co-developing the new Fable, has announced it's cutting 75 jobs. Oh, here comes Andy to attest for his sins.
Mike, don't ask me where the unaccounted for hours. Why did you never respond to my text regarding us continuing Split Fiction?
These are great questions, Greg. I will
We'll get to the bottom of them later. We're in the middle of a show. This is rude.
You're right. I gotta respect the sanctity of games.
Respect Mike's privacy.
You're absolutely right.
Respect this story right now.
In a memo posted on social media, the studio said it's cutting the jobs because, quote, one of our mandates is coming to an end, end quote. The developer did not elaborate further about this. The last game that Eidos Montreal released was 2021's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. It is now co-developing a new Fable game with Playground Games. Eidos Montreal is also known for 2020's Marvel's Avengers, Shadow of the Tomb Raider 2018, Deus Ex Mankind Divided 2016, and Thief 2014. In 2024, it was reported that Eidos Montreal owner Embracer canceled an upcoming unannounced Deus Ex game and implemented a round of layoffs at the Canadian developer. The cuts affected 97 people. With the 75 added today, that's 172 layoffs at Eidos Montreal across both waves of downsizing. Embracer acquired Eidos Montreal in 2022, at the time taking ownership of the game rights to Deus Ex, Tomb Raider, and Legacy of Kain. Less than a week ago, Embracer also cut jobs at KRIS Dynamics, laying off 17 people. Great job, Embracer, as always.
Yeah, that sucks, Greg. I was wondering, I'm searching my brain going, what's the game? What are they working on? You bring up Fable, and then you say Embracer, and I go, Oh,
There it is.
That's where it is.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
not the best track record going on with them. They were really banking on, I think, that big paycheck that they were hoping for right there, and then they missed.
Oh, Embracer. Yes.
Embracer. And so,
and they've been in free fall, changing a million things.
yes,
since
free
then,
for all ever since. Really sucks. I mean, that is a talented team. I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy.
A lot of
We
people
talked
did.
about Marvel's Avengers when that single player came out and people really attached themselves.
Which again is a Crystal
to that.
game they
Of
helped on.
course.
I wouldn't have tossed that in as one of their things. They're the Deus Ex studio. They're the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy
Okay.
studio.
But yeah, I mean, we're losing a lot of talent. A lot of
Sure.
teams could be making some great stuff, and it just seems like leadership is struggling to get a grip on what they want from shareholders and stock prices to, hey, let's let the creatives make these great games and experiences that hopefully the fans will come out and buy and pay for and, help your share price. Who knows?
We hope so, but I doubt the bloodletting and Embracer group is over with. I had a great joke. Remember 2 dice ago, not last dice, but the dice before that, right? Well, they really fucked this place up.
Yeah, you
that
did.
That was a good one. Mike, Embracer fucking up the entire industry is big news. But I'd like cheerier, smaller news. Where should I go?
Yeah, let's go change the mood right now. Let's go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Number 4, the Wii News. One of the stories that got downgraded here was another Xbox handheld tease. If you want to toss up the tweet, it was a tweet from Asus talking about their little robot friend cooking up something, to which Xbox responded, Kevin. It's less about the video. If you look down there, Xbox responded with the looking away emoji, once again hinting that they are in fact making an OS or whatever for the next Asus thing that we were talking about,
Okay.
while also working on their own handheld way in the future.
Oh, okay.
Let's switch to a different bullet point. In total, Adamfall has now been played by over 1.5 million players. A brand new IP set in the north of England, Adamfall is Rebellion's most successful launch in the company's 32-year history.
Congratulations to Rebellion. Of course, on Game Pass day and date was a big win as
Huge.
well. But to see that team get some love, I'm a guy who really loves Sniper Elite.
Yeah.
I will definitely go check this out eventually in my year of just too many games. But you know what? It's nice to see a little success story every now and then, especially after our last story of the news.
I tinkered with it and enjoyed it. The breaking news from Zombies 8 Keegan. Breaking news: pee pee poo poo caca found dead in Malibu home. Oh no, you hate to hear it. I tinkered with Adamfall. The GDC got in the way where I couldn't play a lot of it because I was doing so much GDC stuff. And so my plan had been then after the review, I came out on the review embargo day. I'm trying not to sneeze, and said I was enjoying the opening of it. It was a little clunky, but I think if I committed to it, and then the weekend rolled around and I had that free weekend and I played Monster Hunter because I got to play Monster
Good.
Hunter. All right.
He wants to play Monster Hunter.
I keep hoping I'll get back to Adamfall, but again, I as much as I could see myself if I wanted to, there's so many games that I think are more my jam right off the bat. But maybe we'll see what happens. Also, since we're talking about the Brits over in kindoffunny.com/you're wrong, Crim Lock wrote in and said it's 2 p.m. British summertime, not British standard time.
Summertime. Oh.
It's not summer though.
They say that year round?
I don't know. Here's the thing, I don't know, and there's no way to check that. You know what I mean? Lucy James moved here and she threw away all the useless knowledge.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm never going back.
Oh man, I had one. I was at a dinner with Lucy James and it shook her to the core. And someone was like, I'm the only Brit in the room. And Lucy looked at this guy dead across the way, and you could tell she was hurt by that.
Mate. Oi, mate.
It was a good time. It was real crazy.
GameSpot reports Bandai Namco has announced that Pac-Man on mobile will shut down on May 30th, but players can continue playing the game until the closure date. IGN reports arcade gamer Billy King of Kong Mitchell has won almost $250,000 in damages after a court ruled Australian YouTuber Carl Jobst had defamed him.
Wow.
Mike Drucker's new book is out today. Good game, no rematch. You can go to kindoffunny.com/Drucker right now to get dropped right on his Amazon page. Not because there's any shenanigans with, he's not paying us for it. He did Games Daily last week, and I made that link for him.
Yes.
We don't get any money, is what I'm saying. It's not like
okay.
It's not a sponsorship. We just love Mike Drucker. He's amazing. Corey Clark says only one call. Corey, there's an entire day of content ahead of you.
We had
all
a
right?
big day.
Alfredo will be called. He needs to be warned, but I got GamesCast to worry about next. I can do it there, okay? We don't have to contain the Tim bits to one place. I'm not done yet, Kevin. Is a new Star Wars game imminent? George Yang at GameSpot thinks so. He says a new Star Wars game is being revealed soon, and some images from it have apparently emerged online. The images are supposedly taken from the Star Wars strategy game developed by BitReactor. The studio was founded by former XCOM developers and partnered with Respawn Studios on the project, or Entertainment on the project. As these images are not a year old, it's also possible that the final release could look drastically different. The official Star Wars website states that there will be a first look at Respawn and BitReactor's projects during Star Wars Celebration in Japan on April 19th.
Yeah, Roger showed me these. I'm all in on this.
Yeah?
I love a good XCOM
Let's find out
game.
what super Star Wars fan Barrett Courtney has to say.
I heard Star Wars and I was summoned.
Yeah, Star Wars, XCOM together. What do you think?
You and I are gonna have a great time. It's like the Mike Barrett crossover
Hell
right
yeah.
there. And I've heard rumors on what who the character it's focusing on. Very interesting. I don't want to say because I don't know like what's out there and like what's.
I haven't heard it either, and I don't want it ruined. But
Yeah.
would you say the main character is small?
Who knows?
Damn, that'd be crazy.
And where are my units at? I need to move my units around the map. I'm not done, Kevin! And your final bit of Wii news, Wario64 says the PlayStation Plus Essential April titles are up. As a reminder, the RoboCop Rogue City, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth.
Damn, what a Snowbike Mike month right there.
Yeah.
RoboCop and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a lot of fun. Really good game.
Yeah, that was
we
that
liked
game
that.
caught
That's a
people
good
off guard.
one.
That was a gun one, right? Of course, Gun Media
Yes.
developing
We
that
had fun with that. Andy, of course, was top 10 NA in Evil Dead. We had a good little run there of some of those games. Ghostbusters, we had that too.
I mean, Friday 13th started it all. Let's
Yeah,
just, and
well,
then
of course,
Predator
but like,
Hunting Grounds.
you got to build off of that. You know what I mean? We're in
Yeah.
2025 now.
Yeah. Andy in the chat says, no, shut up. I don't know if he's talking to you or somebody else, but that's rude, you know? You hate to see it.
You know what? We'll add up the hours together.
We got to do, there's some arithmetic that needs to be done. You know what I mean? It's tax time. Somebody's got to check these Andy numbers.
Up.
I believe we got through everything over there. The super chats keep dying on me. Let me refresh it here and get them involved, get them back on
There's
chat.
a lot of them today.
While we do that, I will point out I've never noticed how obscenely large the text on your screen is. I know you need glasses that you don't wear.
It's just like you can put it down to 100, and it's just like it doesn't take up any of the screen. That's why I do it so big. It's because like, look at the screen, Greg. I mean, what?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
at the screen, Greg.
Look at my screen. Like,
Look at
I've
the
got like
screen.
multiple windows and things going. Like, you know.
why do I got? I'm trying to focus on you and I in the story. I don't need multiple windows.
It's true.
You know, I lock in. I lock in.
I told you to bring it today. You brought it today. We're doing
Thank
Monster
you.
Hunter.
We
We're about to do
brought
the
some
GameScast.
great energy today.
Let me
It's
get
just a tiny screen, Chad. What do you want me to do? It's a tiny screen.
Mike, can I show it from above?
Yeah.
Put it. Leave it right there. Right there. Hold on. 5.
You know what I mean? So like,
That's not too bad. I
yeah,
don't
but like
know.
it's there's so much screen real estate. So then your boy.
Oh wait,
like
what
Mike,
did you have it at?
Well, that's 100. That's the normal.
Yeah. Show them how
right?
big
So
it was,
when
though.
I go to 150 because I like using the screen.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, again,
You know what
Mike,
I mean? I scroll.
I'm
with
not
it.
gonna get mad at you. That's fun.
You can't get mad at that. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, you can't get mad at that. But like I you know, the glasses are for far away. Up close, whoo, I'm a hawk. Yeah, I can see anything.
Up close, I'm a hawk.
Goldfish Boy 1337 says if we see a new Kid Icarus tomorrow or even a remake, you will hear my screams all the way from Indiana.
Is that
That'd be
still got
amazing.
love? Is that still got the juice? Will we ever see a Kid
I mean, for
Icarus?
Goldfish Boy,
Okay.
I don't think it does, but I mean, also Nintendo people are weird. They love stuff.
They
that-
attach themselves
Yeah.
onto certain things. Yeah. Hold
They
on.
just find it, you know what I mean? Justin7 says third Legends of Za trailer tomorrow with 100% Zygarde.
Yeah, Pokemon for sure. Pokemon's gonna bring the house down as
Snug
always.
says get rid of Mario Party and announce a Nintendo Party. That'd be fun.
A Nintendo party.
Yeah, so not just Mario characters. We
Yeah.
got Link in there.
It's like PlayStation Battle Royale.
It's like,
All-Stars.
we got to get the Smash Brothers folks over here. You know what I,
like
mean? Now
that. I
that's
love
all
that.
done with.
Maybe.
Still call it Mario Party?
Yeah, it's
probably.
still
yeah,
Mario
you got
Party,
time.
always,
Mario Party
right.
colon Nintendo Party.
Mario and Sonic at the party.
And that's it for the super chats that we're going to read
nice.
today. Ladies, gentlemen, and NB, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, pick up a Kind of Funny membership. Of course, it gets you all of our our shows ad-free, the ability to watch my daily podcast series, Greg Way. And of course, you'd support a small independent business killing themselves for you, like tomorrow, when we will be live at 5:45 in the morning. Barrett Courtney has to leave his house at 4:45. Is that what you said? 4:45 to be here.
That's a commute.
That's a commute.
That's a wake-up call.
We will be live at 5:45 for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, our live reactions as we go. I will cash in Stars in the Bank at the front to not get any of you mad at me for ruining your Direct. I would just ruin Tim's Direct. Of course, after that, it'll be a GamesCast with Cat Bailey. Cat Bailey will be with us for the reactions as well. Then it'll be Kind of Funny Games Daily with Gary and Paris. Then it will be an extended Nuzlocke stream, but remember, that means everything's happening extremely early. So if you can't catch it live, of course, you can watch it later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. Like, subscribe, share, and podcast services around the globe. Please consider picking up that membership. Patreon.com/kindoffunny, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, Apple and Spotify. And until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.